my names are Professor Ezra Undari Okemwa, Registrar, Academic and Students Affairs, and also Professor of Knowledge Management at Machakos University, Machakos County, Kenya. I've been working here since 2016. Before that, I was teaching at Technical University of Kenya as a professor in the Department of Knowledge Management and Information Management, but I didn't stay there for long. Before that, I was teaching at the University of Fort Hare in South Africa, and before that, I taught at UNISA, the University of South Africa. Before that, I also taught at the University of Cape Town, all of the three in South Africa. Before I went to South Africa, I was teaching at Moi University in Eldoret, Kenya. My personal experience, it has not been so bad. So far, so good. Most of the institutions I've worked for, they actually treat people with disabilities well, or well enough, if I may say. Of course, there could be some discrimination, but not openly. Even those who discriminate you, they don't show it openly, but somehow I've been enjoying. I've not had any major challenges because of my disability. I've been promoted from lecturer to full professor while I'm still a person living with disabilities. So I've not had any major challenges because of my disabilities. I've not been hindered by my disability in any way. If it is research, I'm able to conduct my research. If it's publishing, I'm able to publish without any problem. If it is promotions, I've been getting promotions, not because of my disability, but because of merit. It is very important. Disability is not inability. Yeah, so people who are disabled, in whichever way, they are equally good, they are equally intelligent, they are equally capable, they can do what others can do. But if somebody is physically disabled like me, the only thing that you can do is running around. Or sometimes, like somebody who has disability, when the weather changes, that's when it becomes a bit of a challenge. However, many institutions, many employers have not impressed the issue of disability and the integration of people living with disabilities, because sometimes you may go to some offices in some institutions or some organizations, and you find that the facilities there are not specifically, some of them are not specifically meant for people living with disabilities. So you have to struggle around just to behave like any other person who doesn't have any disabilities, who doesn't live with any disabilities. In Kenya, of course, I think it's in law that people living with disabilities should also be accommodated, and they should be given a certain percentage of the employment opportunities. However, from what I've seen, there are some, but they don't actually even get to the percentage that the government has given. Yeah, 5%. There are very few, like here, even here at Machakos, there are very few people living with disabilities, but there are some. Yeah, there are few. Employers must not only hire, but also support people living with the disabilities once they have hired them. They should make sure that facilities there favor people living with disabilities. Sometimes you might find some of the employers, they don't know what it feels like to live with disabilities. Probably they also need to be to get some orientation of what it means. And this organization of people living with disabilities in Kenya should go around and actually sensitize employers as to what they should do, how they should treat people living with disabilities, and what kind of facilities they should provide for their comfort when they are at work. Facilities, they should be improved, and they should be designed specifically for people living with disabilities, not assuming that the facilities which are there are enough. Like even where people living with disabilities park their cars, there should be that mark, there should be that signage that this is a parking for people living with disabilities. Of course, like here at Machakos Universities, we have a few parking spaces for people living with disabilities, but those may not be enough. Other facilities like toilets, toilets mostly, they're almost not there. And it should be also remembered that people living with disabilities sometimes are not able to run up the stairs. So if there are lifts, they should be improved, and they should always work, so that when they get to work, they do not feel like they are disadvantaged in any way. Well, there could be many, but let me mention a few. Sensitization of not only the employers, but also society, members of society as a whole, because you would find that such people living with disabilities are discriminated, they are looked down upon, they are not capable of doing anything. But the members of society, the members of the public, should be sensitized about the issue of living with disabilities. I've seen some families where if they have children who live with disabilities, they hide them so that even when visitors are there, they can't allow them to see those children. That is very, very unfortunate. And actually, people should be identified living with disabilities, so that or children living with disabilities, so that their family members can be sensitized, they can be talked to about what to do, and also they can be told about opportunities available for people living with disabilities. Some of the people living with disabilities can be equally efficient, can be hardworking, they can contribute a lot to society, so long as there is what I may call inclusivity. They have to be included in everything that is done. They have to be included at workplace, they have to be included at school, all levels, primary schools, high schools, colleges and universities. Yeah, so inclusivity is very important. Yeah. Some of the benefits may include, like people living with disabilities may not feel like they are discriminated. People living with disabilities may feel free to integrate with others. You know, they may not feel isolated. You know, like if a family isolates its children who are living with disabilities, they may grow up knowing that they have always been isolated, they have always been discriminated. Yeah. a society cannot be complete without including all people, either with disabilities or without disabilities. Yeah. My role maybe, if given a chance, I can sensitize employers. If given a platform, I can sensitize employers, and I can also sensitize society as a whole. Yeah. I can talk, I can communicate, I can do all sorts of things which may help to do that. You see, the unfortunate part of it is that a lot of people are not aware of what the Constitution provides for people with disabilities. That's why I was saying that employers may need to be sensitized. The general public, members of the public, may need to be sensitized as to what it means. It is actually anchored in our Constitution, and therefore it will be against the Constitution provision to discriminate people living with disabilities. And at the same time, let me also say, people who have either children or their siblings who live with their disabilities, they should also be sensitized. They should also give them a chance. They should also, integrate them in everything that they are doing. Yeah, if it means going to school, they should take them to school. And of course, when somebody has certain disabilities, there are very special schools designed for people with disabilities. Like here in Machakos, we have the school for the blind. We also have the school for the deaf. And a lot of parents, those who are informed, have actually taken advantage of that. And with that, those people emerge to be very good. Yeah, they emerge to be very good. So given a chance, I can actually sensitize not only employers, but also members of the general public. Let me say, everybody, you don't have to be somebody living with disabilities, but everybody is welcome to the month of October and to the function so that they may know more about people living with disabilities. But particularly those who live with disabilities and are able to make it, let them come. And those who may not be able, let them be supported by their families to make it there so that they can listen, so that they can also share their difficulties, so that they can share what they know about living with disabilities. Sometimes somebody may not know what it means to live with disabilities until either they have a close relative who lives with disabilities, a friend who lives with disabilities, or themselves they live with disabilities. And some disabilities are not are acquired at older age. Yes, like me, I became disabled when I was involved in a road accident. Otherwise, I was not born like this, limping. Yeah, it is something that I acquired not too long ago, very recently. Yes. Let me also thank you for coming, and let me hope that you will again be coming time and again, so that you may also visit the other people or talk to other people or other employees living with disabilities. Yes.